Hi, my name is Christina Jackson. I'm a junior at North Shore High School. I've actually been doing robotics and been in first since like first grade, I think. There's like all kinds of levels of first robotics. And I started out with FLL Junior when it was still called that. And I did that for 1 or 2 years. And then I took a break for a little bit and we formed a Girl Scout team of FLL, First Lego League. And you might have heard of us, maybe not, I don't know. We were state champions. Yeah, so I did that for like 4 or 5 years. And now, as soon as I got to high school, I joined Team 1912 Combustion. So I've been doing that for 3 years.
Hi, I'm Matthew Trueheart. I'm a junior at Mandeville High School, and I actually found robotics in 7th grade at Mandeville Junior High. We had a FTC, which is another level of the competition team called Dark Matter, and I was taking an engineering class at the school, and our teacher showed us this really cool promo video for this robotics team, which I had really never even heard about before, and it just looked so cool. So I tried out for the team. I got on, and I just had the most fun. It was so much fun. I did not expect to have as much fun, and also just a way to really devote myself to something and really work towards a goal. I hadn't really had an opportunity beforehand to really work so hard at something, and then in the 7th grade year, we made it all the way to the World Championships and had it compete, and we were a finalist for a programming award. And as a 7th grader, I was on the programming team. I had never barely even programmed before, but when I joined the team, it was just so interesting to me. So I dived in, learned tons of very useful programming skills, and ever since then, it's just been going from there.
Ms. Baker.
I think what y'all do is so fascinating. It really, really is. But my question is, so y'all think of a problem and then you create something for a solution. So what would happen if it was like, I mean, would you ever patent it, and who would own it?
So another thing I'm very proud of doing. So part of like the year we became state champions on the FLL team, we had this product that we created. It's called Smart Blast, and it was like an antioxidant supplement that you would add to different foods like cereals and smoothies, so that you wouldn't be nearly as affected by like radiation poisoning from the sun, and you could give it to astronauts when they go to space. So part of that like product development was we like tried to get a patent for it, and there are other teams who like go even further in the process, and there have been teams who get patents for the products that they make.
That is so cool. Thank y'all for just being way smarter than me.
Mr. Dermott.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Couple of questions. How much travel did y'all do in this whole process? I mean, did you just stay here locally, or did you go internationally or national to different events?
Sure. So we go to about 3 official events, 2 to 3 each year. With our team, we'll be going to one event in Louisiana, and then we'll be traveling to Florida for the other event. And if we qualify, we'll be traveling to Houston for the World Championship. Our team really wants to make robotics accessible and more common, promote its growth through the state. So we are working to create an off-season robotics event called North Shore Knockout right here in St. Tammany Parish, so that teams can come to our parish, compete with their robots, and give more teams from Louisiana an opportunity to get involved without as much of the travel.
That's awesome.
So it's a 6-week like build season. Generally speaking, it's about 6 weeks, and then following the 6-week build, there's a set amount of competitions that you go to, and each week has like different regional competitions. There's competitions in like the Louisiana area. 1912, my freshman year, we went to Arkansas, and because there weren't like regional competitions in certain places in that certain week, we had teams from like Mexico and like all kinds of crazy places that I never would have imagined had been there. So it was cool.
Awesome. I guess this question may be from Ms. Jenkins, and I think you said that they had 15 teams. I think I heard that. What is the number of students that may be participating in this?
Well, it varies from elementary to high school teams. We do have middle and junior high teams as well. And I'll just say that in previous years, we've had more teams, but because of COVID, some of those had restrictions in meeting and even attending competitions. So a lot of them are just becoming more active again. But I would say that, from elementary, it's more like a club. So it could have up to 20 to more kids. And then high school teams, how many do y'all have?
We have about
25? And
We have about
10.
somewhere there.
So it just varies. And sometimes two high schools will actually partner together and, join teams.
Right. Make a collaboration between different schools. Look, I think it's fantastic. And I just want to, some of these machines look like you got to have welding and all of that kind of stuff. So is that y'all, or do you outsource that, or do you get the shop to help you put it together, or what?
Yeah. So we have like different organizations that we work with, like in the community. North Shore in particular doesn't have like the resources or the people with the skills to like weld all of the stuff together in place. We have like a bunch of different tools in our build space, but we don't have everything. So whenever we get the chance to, we reach out to businesses in the community and we're like, hey, we really appreciate what you do for the community. Do you think you could do something for us too? So it's
If
like,
they got you for a salesperson,
Yeah.
they're in trouble.
so yeah, we do a lot of like community outsourcing, and like we go out and we ask people for help, and then we're like, hey, can we like demo at your business to like try and bring more people in? So we do different things to involve the community in what we're doing.
That's awesome. Fantastic.
Sure.
Thank y'all.
I'll also just add that our program and all of the programs focus a lot on having student involvement and student built robots. So maybe for a very complex task like welding, we'd have an adult do it. But for the vast majority of tasks, from brainstorming, choosing what your robot wants to be built for, all the way up to building it, programming it, everything associated with it is done as much as possible by the students. And I think it really gives students an opportunity to take responsibility and work with very high tech, very cool tools that are used in the real world.
Mr. Betancourt.
Thank you, Mr. Green. All of y'all are amazing, simply amazing. Mr. Green, I think, is proud. He's a Mandeville High graduate. I'm a Mandeville High graduate. The things y'all do just blow my mind. And like when I graduated in 1967, all we had was erector sets and Lincoln logs. So the things that y'all do, it just, I can't really wrap my mind around the things that y'all are capable of doing. And what you just pointed out, young lady, it's another skill. You're learning how to collaborate with different people and stuff. So that's in addition to all your computer and your robots. So my hat's off to you. Thank you.
Mr. Nation.
Thank you, Mr. Green. And what Mr. Betancourt's not telling you is the Lincoln logs he had were actually President Lincoln's Lincoln logs. It's good to see both of you. Matthew, it's good to see you. Tell your mama I said hello. I'm a geek. I love Star Wars, and I sat in 1977 and watched R2-D2 come to life on the big screen, as a lot of us did. And so I think this is all wonderful. And so I'm sure y'all seen the Boston Dynamics videos, with the dog, that Boston Dynamics, created. And so robotics is both exciting and scary at the same time. So I guess my question for y'all is, what do you see as the future of robotics? Maybe the immediate future, as well as are we going to have, to use another sci-fi show I'm a fan of, Star Trek, are we going to have Data running around one day, an android, So anyway, what's the future of robotics?
I think the future will look very different and very bright. I think students having access to these robotics programs is going to help prepare them for the changing future with, the changes that robotics will bring about. Yes, things will change a lot, and having students have access to these great programs are really going to help them prepare for for those changes.
Yeah, I feel like the future of robotics is it's only going to go so far as we let it go. So if we go forward and make advancements and improvements on all of the different things that need to be advanced and improved, then, it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great.
Ms. Hyde, I'm sorry, did you?
Just make a comment. I've said this before to the administration when we've had presentations by robotics groups that one of my sons, he wasn't very engaged in studying in high school. And he got very motivated when he became a part of the robotics group and just thoroughly enjoyed it. And I thought it was wonderful that if they had a problem and they knew a student who might have that skill set, they would say, hey, come and join us. And they spent hours after school. I felt so sorry for the faculty representative because she was there so late at night. So thank you to the faculty members, because the students get so engaged and so enthused with it that they want to stay for a long time. And like I say, I think it's wonderful that there's lots of different components of it that people can engage in, or students can engage in. And I appreciate the community's help and, again, the faculty's help. And I'll say that my son has done pretty well. And I'm sure he uses a lot of the skills that he learned through the robotics. Thank you.
President Harold.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Just to piggyback off what Ms. Heinz said, what's the average time y'all spend a week during the school week, weekends, working on this? And then like maybe right before competition, because I'm sure it amps way up.
So because we are currently in the midst of build season, we went from like 2 or 3 meetings a week to having 4 meetings a week. So 1912 meets Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. On the weekdays, we meet 5:30 to 9. On the weekends, we meet 9 to 4 with a lunch break. So I think that's about like 17 and a half hours, probably more. And then that's like however long we're building the robot. So then right before competition, we get there, like it might be a school day that we're leaving. So we get to school, we go to the first couple classes, and then we like meet and we're like, okay, we need this, and this to be packed in the trailer like 2 hours ago. So then we have to like make sure everything is where it needs to be. So that's always really crazy and really hectic. And then we spend, days at these competitions. They're like 3-day affairs. So I do like robotics and a lot of other extracurricular activities. So I think I'm probably at the school for a substantially long amount of time for somebody who doesn't work there.
So the Mandeville robotics team, we meet during build season, we meet 6 days a week. Members can log an average of 25 hours per week for some of our more active members. And by the end of the season, we have members with 300, 400 hours each year, and those are only logged hours. And the amount of time that we put into it really, really makes you invested in having this robot do well and, seeing it to its completion.
Absolutely. Superintendent Javits.
As y'all can see, Christina was my boss, and she continues to be my boss, as you can see. No, I just wanted y'all to maybe talk about what the game and task is this year quickly. Is there any way y'all can just kind of tell everybody what we're what the game is this year?
Sure. So robots this year, they're on essentially a basketball-sized field, and they play 3 robots versus 3 robots and try to score the most points in about a 2-minute period. And so robots can score points by taking these essentially oversized tennis balls and shooting them into a goal about 10 feet off of the ground. And then also at the end of the match, the really cool challenge is there's a set of upward inclining monkey bars that the robot has to climb one by one, and you get more points for how high you can climb.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Baker.
All right, this is my last one. So how do you go from doing something super cool like that to a robot that does spinal surgery? And I can't wait to see where this takes y'all.
I mean, obviously there's more steps involved, but the really cool thing about being on the robotics team as like as a 17-year-old is like I'm doing these things and it's basically the same thing that they're doing when they make robots who perform spinal surgery. It's like it's like a more basic variation, but it's the same like principles. So if I really wanted to, I could like go into college knowing like I'm going to do robotics. Like that is going to be my life for the rest of my life. And I will already have like the basic knowledge that I need to know. And it'll be really easy. So it's just like spinal surgery is just a little bit more complicated than shooting a basketball.
That's awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
I
guys.
would just really like to give you guys just a heartfelt thank you. I know I speak for the board when we just beam with pride knowing that we have students like you representing our district. Thank you, North Shore. Thank you, Mandeville. Thank you, other robotics teams. And just keep selling those programs because there's a lot of students out there that would thrive and need something like this. So thanks again, you guys, and awesome job tonight.
Thank you.